This episode is brought to you by Dubby. Dubby gives you focus and energy without the crash and jitters. It has no sugar, fillers, or artificial dyes. Mix one packet or scoop into 8 or 12 ounces of water. Stir or shake well. Some powderiness is normal, and it has all the important vitamins. So this has vitamin C, B3, B6, and B12. And it's made from coffee fruit extract. So drink it and go conquer a task. And go to debbie.gg and use my promo code Angry Blerd 10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. That's debbie.gg with promo code Angry Blerd 10.
Yo, it's your boy Bernard, aka the Scarlet Spider, and welcome to another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast, where I'll be discussing everything nerdy and geek related that has caught my eye this week. So one of the things that caught my eye that has kind of been like, is this still happening? How are they going to do this? What's going on? Is Batman the Caped Crusader. So we already knew that it was coming out on Prime as opposed to coming out on Max. But now we have a release date and we have a cast reveal. This show will star Christina Ricci, Jamie Chung, Diedrich Bader, McKenna Grace, David Krumholtz, Haley Joel Osment, and Minnie Driver. And Hamish Linklater will be providing the voice of Batman. And like I said, this will be coming out on August 1st. So it's supposed to be kind of in the same vein as Batman the Animated Series, with Bruce Timm returning to run the show as the executive producer, but it's going to have more adult tones to it. Reed Scott will also be in it, Don Donahue, Gary Anthony Williams, Jason Watkins, John DiMaggio, Crystal Joy Brown, C. Michelle Bonilla, Eric Morgan Stewart, Tom Kenny. I think I said Minnie Driver. But yeah, so be on the lookout for that one. So when did Megan come out? Last year? I feel like it was last year. Well, we are getting a new type of MCU, and that will be the Megan Cinematic Universe. So we know Megan 2.0 is supposed to be coming out sometime in 2025, but we're expanding that universe with a movie called Soulmate. And that is supposed to be hitting theaters January 2nd, 2026. So Kate Dolan, who directed a movie called You Are Not My Mother, will direct the film. But this is also billed as a 1990s erotic thriller. So in Soulmate, a man acquires an artificially intelligent android to cope with the loss of his recently deceased wife. In an attempt to create a truly sentient partner, he inadvertently turns a harmless robot into a deadly soulmate. So James Wan and Jason Blum will be producing Soulmate. Michael Clear, Judson Scott of James Wan's Atomic Monster and production company will also executive produce alongside Ingrid Bisu. Aliana Glassdahl is also executive producing. So I'm just like, okay, cool. I mean, why not? Why not just put the fear of artificial intelligence in people's heads more and more and more? I mean, by then, every iPhone that's 15 and up will have ChatGPT installed, regardless of if you want it or not. But Megan 2.0 will be released on June 27th. So Allison Williams and Violet McGraw will be returning for part 2. But yeah, I mean, I ain't really got nothing to say as far as that, but hopefully it's good. All right, so we talked about the new MCU. Let's talk about the old MCU and talk about Blade. So as we all know, Blade has been in development hell since it was pretty much announced. Like, the only thing that's been consistent with the film is Mahershala Ali. I mean, we've lost 2 directors. The movie has been rewritten multiple times. But the only other piece of good news that we've gotten out of this is that Mia Goth is still attached to be in the movie, despite, everything that's going on with the film being in development hell and whatnot. I just really want them to get it together very soon, because it's just like, at this point, Blade is going to have to be recast because even Mahershala Ali is getting frustrated. But oh well. We got some slight good news on Avengers 5, and that was Benedict Cumberbatch confirming that he will indeed be a part of it. So yeah, he said he's very much looking forward to playing Doctor Strange in Avengers 5, and he said that he will be working on the movie next year, and that is cooking up a storm. So still don't know how they're going to pivot from the Kang stuff, because that was one of the theories that, since we aren't going to recast Kang, I don't know, but they need to figure it out. Captain America Brave New World is going through some more reshoots. It looks like they're going to be doing like 22 more days of reshoots, but I'm just like, come on, man. We just need to get this off the ground and so to be ready by Valentine's Day. But don't know what the holdup is. I don't know if Anthony Mackie got busy shooting the second season of Twisted Metal or what. But hey, sooner the better, right? Because this movie was supposed to come out this year, but due to the writers and actors strikes, reshoots and everything, it's coming out next year. And McDonald's already gave away all the Captain America Brave New World toys, so we already know that Red Hulk is in it. Oh, and Sean Levy was actually doing a interview with Total Film, promoting Deadpool and Wolverine. And he said that he would love to see Wade Wilson team up with Peter Parker. He said the thing about Deadpool is I think he makes everything more interesting because of his audacity. But boy, I sure love to see Deadpool and Spidey. That's a movie I love to make. I feel like Tom Holland would run circles around everyone else. But hey, man, I can't wait. Can we just, July 25th is right around the corner. So, fingers crossed. We got what, 32 more days? 30 days in September, April, June. Yeah, 32 more days. All right. That's it for the MCU news. Let's get into some underwhelming news that came out from Nintendo, and that was Nintendo doing their Nintendo Direct for June of this year. So there was a lot of stuff that they announced, but nothing that nobody really wanted. So let's get into it. So they revealed a new Legend of Zelda game called Echoes of Wisdom, which is done in like the chibi art style of like the Wind Waker and everything else. But in this game, you get to play as Zelda. So this is, I believe, the first Zelda game, Legend of Zelda game, where you actually play as Zelda. So the summary is, it's up to Zelda and her wisdom to save the kingdom of Hyrule in a brand new story in the Legend of Zelda series. The people of Hyrule are being stolen away by strange rifts that have appeared, and when a certain swordsman among them is missing, team up with the mysterious fairy Tri, and the power of the Tri-Rod to create echoes, imitations of things found in the environment. Then recreate those echoes whenever you like to solve puzzles and defeat enemies. Use echoes of water blocks to reach new heights, make bridges out of old beds, throw rocks at foes, or find your own creative combination of echoes to do things your way. Yeah, that's a pass for me. So it looks like this game will be coming out September 26th of this year. They announced Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. So basically, this is the return to the first person format for Metroid. Like all the Prime games are always been first person. So it says this introduces a new storyline that ties together the events of the Metroid Prime universe and takes things in a new direction. No exact release date for this one. It just says sometime in 2025. So I feel like this is going to be a cross-gen game. So whenever the Switch 2 comes out, I feel like they're going to be releasing that in December, because unfortunately they did not reveal any Switch 2 information with this showcase. But yeah, 2025 for that one. Mario and Luigi Brothership. This is like probably the only game that looked appealing to me. This is a cel-shaded island hopping RPG that stars Mario and Luigi, where they set sail on Shapeship Island, which is part ship, part island, and to navigate the vast world of Concordia. So you get to play as either Mario and Luigi and explore the islands that range from tropical rainforests to bustling cities. Along the way, meet new friends to help you on your journey and encounter familiar faces from the Mushroom Kingdom like Peach and Bowser. This one will be coming out November 7th I was really hoping for Super Mario Odyssey 2, but guess not, right? Uh, we're getting a new Super Mario Party game, which is titled Super Mario Party Jamboree. That one will be coming out October 17th. And you know the whole deal with Super Mario Party. It's just a bunch of mini games that you get to play with friends and family. Donkey Kong returns. Donkey Kong Country returns HD. So this is a remaster of the game that I believe was on the Nintendo, not Switch. I'm tripping. Um, the Wii U. This one will be coming out January. On the Wii, January 16th of next year. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. So, like I said, it's just a remake of a Dragon Quest game. So, this one I believe was originally on the Super Nintendo, and this one will be released November 14th of this year. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD remake. 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. No release date on this one, but it says sometime in 2025. Nintendo World Championships NES edition. So I believe you can only get this if you have the Nintendo Switch Online. So this is just basically a bunch of the in-person Nintendo World Championships that were held in the in 1990, 2015, and 2017. So this will challenge players through bite-sized bits of classic blockbusters. Both old school and new school players can enjoy the rush of over 150 speedrun challenges taken from 13 classic games. And that will be out July 18th. Like I said, there was really nothing on here that caught my eye. Fairy Tale 2, which is obviously based off the anime, will be coming out sometime in the fourth quarter of next year. And that's going to be on Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC. I believe the same thing with the Dragon Quest games. Let me double check that. Dragon Quest will be on all systems, so PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and Nintendo. We're getting an update for Nintendo Switch Sports, which I believe is a free update. I hope so. So I think that one's adding the basketball update. They didn't put a released window on that. Mio, which is Memories in Orbit. You play as an android in a Metrovania type game where you explore a vessel, and that will be coming out sometime next year. And that's on everything: Xbox, PC, Xbox Series SX, PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch. Disney Illusion Island. Let's check this one out. I believe this game already came out, but it looks like there's like a DLC patch, which they did not reveal the release date for. So that's fantastic. All right. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. So if you were a fan of Marvel superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom, The Punisher, Marvel vs. Capcom 1, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Marvel superheroes vs. Street Fighter, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, and X-Men Children of the Atom. This will be coming out sometime this year, and everyone's excited about that one. I might get it. I was never really a fan of those games, but I did play them. Just Dance 2025 is not really worth it. Turok Dinosaur Hunter, which is a franchise I thought was dead. Supposed to be coming out. I don't remember. They didn't put a window, give any type of release window for that. Stray, the game with the cat that Samir is very excited about, is finally coming to the Switch. It's probably going to look like crap. No release window on that. Metal Slug Attack Reloaded, another remaster. Let's see when that comes out. June 18th. Oh, it already dropped. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD will be coming out June 27th. So this is just a slight remaster of the Luigi's Mansions games that were released on the 3DS for the Nintendo Switch. So like I said, June 27th for that one. So that one will be out next week. Like I said, man, Nintendo has just been letting people down. It's like your system's 7 years old. Can we please just get the Switch 2 or whatever you want to call it sooner rather than later? Things that should have come out sooner rather than later as well. Lethal Weapon 5 It's like, when did Lethal Weapon 4 come out? I really feel like that movie came out like 98, 99. Let's see when Lethal Weapon 4 came out. Lethal Weapon 4, I was right, 98. So we're still getting a fifth one, despite the fact that Mel Gibson and Danny Glover are up there in age. Like, Mel Gibson is 68 years old. Danny Glover is 77, so he is literally too old for this shit. But the update we got was Mel Gibson will directly the Weapon 5 as a tribute to the late director, Richard Donner, who also directed the Superman films. Um, Mel Gibson will complete the screenplay that Donner started before his passing, so it will preserve its essence. And Lethal Weapon 5 will maintain the series' blend of humor and serious themes, staying true to fan expectations. Um, Not really sure if I'm going to watch this. It's like there's a difference between being old and just being old. To do like a buddy cop movie like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, they're old. Yeah, Martin is what, 60 and Will is 55, 56. But like I just said, Danny Glover is 77. Mel Gibson is 68. It's like, no, they old. They're really too old for this. Like, I was talking to Samir a few weeks ago. Well, a few months ago, actually. It was when the Beverly Hills Cop actual F trailer came out. Samir just did the thing that Samir does and just nitpicked it. Can't suspend his disbelief to save his life. But he was like, yo, Eddie Murphy is in his 60s. At this point, Axel should be a desk cop, or he should be retired. And Riggs and Murtaugh should be desk cops, or they should be retired. It's like, yo, Marcus has been trying to retire and get away. Well, actually, Marcus has been trying to get away from Mike since Bad Boys 2, but he legit retired in Bad Boys for Life. It's just like, yo, man, when you give up the ghost, you ain't got the mojo no more, man. But yeah, no release window on Lethal Weapon 5. Another movie franchise. Well, it's now a franchise. We're getting a sequel to Uncharted. So, according to Variety, this was confirmed by Sony's president of international distribution, Stephen O'Donnell, at the Cine Europe trade show, and it was included as part of a list of Sony Pictures movies that are currently in development. And obviously, that's all we know. It's just on a list of, hey, yeah, we're getting Uncharted 2. So, Mark Wahlberg said back in February that the screenplay had been turned in. So, I mean, who knows when it's going to start filming. But I want to see the list of these Sony pictures that are in development, because honestly, I don't. If that list doesn't have Beyond the Spider-Verse on it, it really doesn't matter, because you shouldn't be making any other Spider-Man adjacent stuff after that, because Man Web was trash. Morbius was trash. It wasn't even a good thing. The only thing that came out of that was It's Morbin Time, and they just put that in a Spider-Man comic, and I'm just like, oh god, you transitioned over. Why did it transition over? I hate when things from movies transition over in the comics. Maybe Craven will be good, but hey man, I really don't have high hopes for that. Other things I don't have high hopes for. We are getting a live action Totally Spies television series, which will be produced by Will Ferrell. So wait, what? So for those of you who don't know, Totally Spies was a cartoon that aired in like the early 2000s, and it was basically like a teenage version of Charlie's Angels, and it had three girls, Sam, Clover, and Alex, who balanced their high school lives in Beverly Hills and their jobs as secret agents for the World Organization of Human Protection, which is WOOHP. I don't know how you say that. Whoop, I guess. Using new gadgets in every episode to get them out of whatever situation that warns them during their missions. And apparently the animated series is also being revived. And that will be coming to Cartoon Network and Max. It's supposed to premiere sometime this year. So we got, what, 6 more months for that to happen? But it's crazy that we're getting a live action version of this, and I believe that it's supposed to be going to Prime. But yeah, I mean, I never like watched this show.
I saw like bits and pieces of it, like when I was waiting for Sonic X to come on, but I was just like, nah, it ain't for me. It is not for me. But congratulations to, everyone attached to Totally Spies. Hopefully it doesn't go the way of the live action Powerpuff show and just fizzles away and nobody like bothered to even like say, hey, yeah, this didn't come out. I mean, this isn't greenlit anymore. It's dead in the water. Um, Jordan Peele, who we all know from Mad TV, Key and Peele, the writer and director of Get Out, Nope, and Us, has his next movie pretty much ready to go. He really didn't say much about it, but um he just got on Twitter and just decided to just be very cryptic as possible, and he just put 10, 23, 26. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be a horror movie unless he decides to switch genres up at this time. But this movie was actually supposed to come out Christmas of this year, but you know what happened last year, writers and actor strike, so really couldn't work on anything. So let's see what this is going to be about. Hopefully he is directing it because, like I said, he just put the release date because he did something very similar for Candyman, and with that he just wrote the script. All right, what else do I have? Don't know how this is going to work as a video game, but we are getting a Quiet Place video game. The trailer dropped a few days ago, and it will be coming out on consoles and PC sometime this year. Like I said, year's almost over. This is done by Stormmind Games, and based off of the trailer, it looks like it's going to be first person only. And if that's the case, guess who won't be playing it? This guy. Don't do first persons. If it's a VR, maybe, but even then, it probably won't be available for the PlayStation VR. Only the VR2, but who knows? Anyway, guys, spoiler alert. Let's get into the reviews of what do I want to do first? Because I'm doing 2 episodes of Doctor Who just to get them out the way. All right, what are we gonna do first? I feel like I should do the Acolyte first. So here's your breakdown for the episode of the Acolyte titled Day. This is what, episode 5, I believe. Is this episode 5? Let me double check. Looking at all the review bombs on what you call it? Episode 4, I'm sorry. Yeah, Day, which was directed by Alex Garcia Lopez and written by Claire Kitchell and Cora Adana. So May and Kamir are looking for Klaunaka in the forest of Kar on Karasan to, finish her her revenge tour. Meanwhile, on Coruscant, Osha says goodbye to Jackie. She doesn't want to say goodbye to Soul. Don't know why, but whatever. Just like, okay, I guess. Just don't say bye to the guy who saved you and tried to help you reconnect with your sister. But he catches her trying to leave, and they have a moment, and he just says, yo, where you going? You really not gonna say bye or nothing? And she's like, nah, I gotta go, cause this ain't my problem anymore. This is y'all problem. Okay. But he convinces her to go with them to Coruscant. Not Coruscant. Yeah, but Soul's also arguing with Master Vanestro, but about the whole May situation. So I really feel like they shouldn't have gone back to Coruscant, but I get it. They needed a bunch of red shirts to go with them. So Soul, Ocean, the crew make it to Kanaka's camp with the help of a little tracker named Basil. And May decides to turn on Kinnear because she's like, yo, my sister alive. This changes things for me, so I don't really need to do this no more. Okay. So she says she's going to turn herself into the Jedi, so she gets to Master Kanaka's hut, and he is dead. And Basil alerts Osha, your Jackie, Soul, and the rest. I'm calling them red shirts because I already know they're gonna die in episode 5. And the red shirts
to the location of May. And before, she can come out and surrender, her master appears, who's got one of the coolest helmets in Star Wars histories. I need that helmet. It's like, I don't know what it is about helmets in Star Wars, like as far as the Sith go, but they get cooler and cooler and cooler. Like, yeah, Vader was cool, but then Kylo Ren came in and was like, look at this. I'm gonna step up, I'm gonna step on your legacy. And then now this guy, he's kind of got like a weird like Vader slash Venom thing going on. But yeah, then the episode ended like when they got ready to go to fight. And I was just like, yo, how can you do this to me? Don't why? You suck. But that was actually the shortest episode in the season so far. But man, it was good. Like I really felt like we could have left Coruscant like in the back window. But like I said, it makes sense if they needed to add that scene to go get the red shirts, because none of them people had names. They all about to die. They are all dead. D-E-D. Dead. What am I gonna do next? Let me go to my show notes. My shows. But yeah, I need that helmet. All right, let's get into the review of episodes 7 and 8 of Doctor Who. So the season is done. Now I have to wait until Christmas. So episode 7 was Empire episode 7 was The Legend of Ruby Sunday. So the Doctor returns back to Earth in 2024. He goes to UNIT. Introduces Ruby to everyone. Rose is in this episode. It was good to see Rose again. Mel is working undercover to find out. I don't know if y'all were listening when I said like there's this lady who keeps popping up in every single episode in some different way, shape, or form. But it comes out that she is actually in 2024. Her name is Susan Triad, which UNIT figures out as an anagram for TARDIS. But the Doctor thinks that it's his granddaughter, Susan, who we haven't seen since like the first iteration of Doctor Who with the first Doctor. But they're trying to figure all this out, and they're also still trying to figure out the legend of Ruby Sunday. Like why whenever Ruby dies or gets close to death, it starts to snow. So they have basically like this time chamber where basically they can play back moments of history, and they call Ruby's mom to come with the VHS of when she was dropped on the steps of the Church of Ruby Road on Christmas Day in 2004, my bad. And like something just starts to go awry, and this poor one's, why are they always killing the black soldiers in Doctor Who? But this one soldier who was basically risen Ruby up, he got killed. And then you find out that the big bad this entire season was a classic Doctor Who villain named Sutek, who was an adversary of the fourth Doctor, who literally appeared in the 1975 episode Prison of Mars. So yeah, then we get to the season finale where it finds out that like when the Doctor originally defeated Sutek all those years ago, yeah, he kicked him into the time vortex, but he hitched a ride alongside the TARDIS. So wherever the Doctor has been going for the past 50 plus years, Sutek has left like this little anagram avatar of Susan Triad, who isn't even a real person apparently. But he's basically made her his avatar of death. So all those planets have died. And man, this season finale was good. But the thing that made me mad about it was Ruby is nobody special. It's because of the simple belief that the god of death thinks Ruby is special. That basically made her special. So her parents aren't aliens or gods or none of that stuff. Her mother was 15 and got knocked up and left her on the church steps. But they find her mother. After they defeat Sutek, the Doctor literally kicked him into the time vortex this time around and left him there to die. After saving everybody, he leaves her. It's like, yo, I told you I helped you figure out, your family history. Your family history is done now. Get out. Not really, but he was like, yo, being with you helped me realize that, family is everything. So hopefully the Doctor goes and looks for his granddaughter. But he probably won't. We'll find out on Christmas. All right, let's get into episode 4 of the boys. So this episode was called The Wisdom of Ages. This one was directed by Phil Crusader, written by Jeff All. So Homelander goes back to the lab that created him and begins torturing all the scientists who performed grisly experiments on him as a child. And he strikes a deal with the president to help get the super. I'm sorry. Annie strikes a deal with the president to help get the soups legislation bill passed. But Vought basically gave Firecracker her own little Fox News show to undermine Starlight, and Butcher reveals that Firecracker actually slept with a 15-year-old boy when she was 28. Firecracker is just so damn determined to take down Starlight, she releases the information that she did it. So she called Butcher's bluff, and she also revealed that Annie had an abortion. This pisses Annie off after Firecracker has just been going on she's on her revenge tour. She revealed that Annie blinded a lady when she first got her powers at 13, and Annie just went ham on Firecracker and beat her up on live TV. Meanwhile, Huey's dealing with his own issues, like tripping over forklifts, which is not, something you want to do. Trust me, as someone who worked in a warehouse and has done it multiple times, it does hurt. But I don't know if Huey hasn't been drinking his milk or what, but his ankle shouldn't have been busted like that. Like, I've literally tripped over forklifts multiple times. Like, it is what it is. Huey's just weak, but in this episode, Huey actually, got in some combat training and actually killed somebody. But he calls A-Train to give him some Compound V to save his father. A-Train and Ashley have a very awkward moment where they're both in Homelander's penthouse. Ashley took a shit in Homelander's toilet and didn't flush it, and she sees A-Train stealing the Compound V. Meanwhile, they just like, let's not talk about this, because we basically got a one-up on each other. The Deep is trying to rizz up Sister Sage, and she's not having it until one day she calls him back to her penthouse, and she's like, look, man, do you have any idea how annoying and frustrating it is to be the smartest person in the world? Every now and then I gotta give myself a lobotomy, so this time I need you to do it. But man, this episode was a lot. Huey did not give his dad the Compound V. I'm starting to think his mom did, but how did she get it? Did she take it out of his jacket or what? But I mean, I don't know. Simon Pegg, I really thought this was going to be Simon Pegg's last episode, but he is going to be sticking around for a minute, and let's see what type of power he has. I want a Fudgy the Well cake. I should have bought one when this episode dropped, but I'm not going to eat that by myself. But yeah, guys, that was pretty much everything. So this is your boy Bernard, aka the Scarlet Spider, and that was another episode of the Angry Blerd podcast. Be sure to rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Please go watch the video on YouTube. I don't care if you just have it playing in the background with the sound off, but help a brother out. Go to w.gg, use the promo code AngryBlerd10 at checkout to save 10% on your order. Next week, it looks like it's just the Acolyte and the boys for me. So June is kind of starting to wind down as far as the content goes. I'm just going to do a season overview of my adventures with Superman, because there's only 4 more episodes left. But yeah, so I'll see y'all next week. Peace.